Hey everyone, it's Emma and welcome back to my channel. Today, let's go ahead and just jump right in. We're going to talk about zero waste at the office. So if you're new here or you just haven't seen these videos yet on my channel, I do already have a video about zero waste at school and 2 videos now outlining zero waste as a teen / zero waste when you're living with roommates. I will leave all those videos linked down below, but I've never talked about zero waste at the office. I feel like a lot of my audience is people who are working and not necessarily students, so I thought this was an important video to make. As always, if you're new here and you haven't hit the subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. I talk about all sorts of things zero waste, focusing on free, easy, and fun ways to live low waste and practical ways to be an activist. And if you find any value in this video, I would really appreciate a thumbs up, as well as sharing this video with others to get the word out. And if I forget any ways that you live zero waste at the office, please leave them down below for the rest of us. I know it would be really cool to make a part 2 as well. Anyway, so the first one is recycling. It's pretty straightforward, but not everywhere recycles. So when I lived in Japan, my office place, recycling was mandatory nationwide in Japan. So there was mandatory recycling at our office space as well. So I didn't really have to do anything special there. It was simply taking advantage of the free system that I had available. So if you already have recycling at your office, you already have recycling wherever you work, go ahead and take advantage of that and make sure that you're recycling properly. I have a full playlist on recycling as well that I will leave linked above and below, talking about the do's and don'ts of recycling, how to recycle correctly, things you shouldn't recycle, and so forth, because if we recycle incorrectly, it's really not doing the system any good, and then more stuff ends up in the landfill. But if you don't have recycling in your office, don't fret. I have a video as well talking about how to start a recycling program and how I started one at my workplace here in Las Vegas. That video will also be linked above and below for you to check out after this. But basically, all it took was for me to acquire some bins. I got them on OfferUp. I also found some for free in the trash. I lined them with a trash bag, and then once a week I go through and I collect the recycling. Now, when I made that video, I did take the recycling home and I recycled it in my home bin, which works. If you already have recycling at home and it's free for you, that's a great free option. But then I found so I work on a military base. I found the base recycling center, and now I take it there, which is also free. So if there's a free system for you to go ahead and take advantage of, definitely do that. And again, check out those videos for more information. The next one is to start eco-bricking at work. So I started eco-bricking at home, and I made a TikTok about it, and then some of my coworkers found me on TikTok on their For You page, so that was kind of weird. Not that I'm trying to hide my eco self, but I'm already the weird eco hippie person at work. I try to keep my 2 lives separate. My professional, I don't like that word, my life in the military, and then my life being an eco content creator. Because those are 2 completely sides of the spectrum. Anyway, I wasn't even the one who started work eco-bricking. It was one of my friends who found me on TikTok, and she's kind of getting more into the eco realm. Very, very excited that I'm influencing people at work too. Anyway, she started eco-bricking at work, and I'm like, yay! I'm not the only weird one now. Anyway, eco-bricking. I will probably make a full YouTube video about this because it is a big topic that requires a lot of information. I do have a series on TikTok if you want to check that out for now, but let me know if you'd like a full video on YouTube about eco-bricking. In short, you take your thin, hard to recycle, or non-recyclable plastics, and you stuff it inside of a solid plastic bottle. Let me go actually get mine so I can show you. So here's my current one. I only have one. I've started this in March or so. It's mid-June now when I'm filming. Late June, whatever. It's hard as a rock, and all this stuff otherwise would have ended up in the landfill. Now here, I don't know if you can see. The bottle kind of has some give to it. This one, rock solid. Anyway, you can use this to build. You stack them up like bricks. But if not, you can give them to other people for them to build. Worst case scenario, you put the cap back on, you put it in the trash. Why would you spend all this time just to throw this away? Because it sequesters our plastic. All this plastic otherwise would have been blowing around, probably ending up as litter, but keeping it in this plastic bottle keeps it contained. Big thing to note, this is not recyclable once you stuff it full of this non-recyclable plastic. Anyway, that's the short version. It's a great thing to do at work because I know we produce a lot of plastic at work from candy wrappers, snack bags, whatever. You just have to ensure that people are using clean and dry plastic. Don't put any food waste inside these bottles or they can literally explode. And again, check out the TikTok series and let me know if you want a full video on YouTube. Next is to use a water filter and encourage people to actually bring their own reusable water bottles instead of using disposables. So we have 2 water filters at work. We have one in each of our sections, so they're very easily accessible, but people still use plastic water bottles. They bring their own plastic ones from home. We have a snack bar. There's plastic water bottles in there that people use, and it's really frustrating because I'm we have water right here. It's free, it's by donation. You're also, and the water bottles in the snack bar are probably $1 each, and then it's just so much waste. Anyway, the hard part is encouraging people to reuse what they already have, and you don't even have to go out and buy a fancy reusable water bottle. You can use something like this clean it out, and then this can be your work water bottle that you refill at your water filter. You would also just refill this in the drinking fountain or under the sink as well. Most tap water, at least in, most parts of the United States, I'm not sure about other countries, are very safe to drink straight from the tap. Consider that instead of using multiple of these every single day. Similar to that, if you are in charge of the snack bar, or you can give suggestions to your work snack bar if you have one, suggest that they use soda in cans versus soda in bottles. It's a pretty small change, but metal is infinitely recyclable. It is a lot less harmful pollution-wise. Yeah, so it is a more sustainable material. It's also way more widely accepted for recycling. So if your workplace has recycling too, it's like a double whammy win-win. I guess while we're on the topic of food, make your lunch instead of getting takeout every day. I know this isn't possible for everyone depending on time and ability and so forth, but getting takeout every day can get really expensive. I'm talking like $10 to $20 per meal. And then when you're making lunch at home, it could be significantly cheaper. Now, I'm not one to go all out and make a bunch of food specifically for my lunch. I just make leftovers. So for dinner the night before, I'll make like a big batch of chili or ramen, whatever it is. But then I make enough to last me for the next like 3-4 days at work. So then I don't really have to make anything special for lunch. It's just leftovers, and it's really simple. It saves a lot of waste and a lot of money. And then similar to that one as well is the same thing goes with snacks. Instead of getting like individual packs of peanuts or individual packs of fruit snacks, you can either buy a bigger bag, still plastic, but you're using a lot less plastic over time. You can shop in the bulk bins. I know the bulk bins that I have here at Sprouts in Las Vegas, there's gummies in there, there's chocolate, there's crackers, there's nuts, a lot of snack options that you can get plastic free. Or you can just opt for snacks in recyclable packaging like paper, metal, packageless, or even recyclable plastic, like something like a bottle like this. I'm not sure what kind of snacks you could find in a bottle like this. It's way easier and more widely accepted to recycle a plastic number 1 or 2 than a plastic number 3, 4, 5, or 6. 3, 4, 6, or 7. If you'd like to learn more about the 7 different types of plastic, I will leave that video linked above. The next one is a little bit more taking action in your workplace instead of the individual actions, kind of like we've been talking about. That is, talk to your supply team, whoever is ordering supplies for your workplace, and see if you can get more eco-friendly swaps like LED light bulbs, recycled paper, recycled toilet paper, less harsh cleaning supplies, and so forth. The list goes on eco-friendly products for the workplace. If you'd like me to make a video on that, let me know, because I don't really know very many. I could do like an eco-friendly school/office supplies maybe. But yeah, it's simply going and talking to your supply team and seeing if it's possible. I feel like a lot of these swaps aren't much more expensive, if more expensive at all, and it can reduce a lot of waste and be a lot more environmentally friendly. Plus, if you work for a big company, that's like really good PR. You can use that to your advantage there as well. If you have windows, and I say if because I work in a windowless building and it's sad. If you have windows, open the blinds, take advantage of the sunlight during the day, then you don't need to turn on the lights, you get some vitamin D, it's all around a great thing to do. This one is a little ambitious, and that is starting an office compost, maybe even an office garden. My workplace started a garden recently, super excited about it. Once again, I was not the one to start that, it was someone else. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at all these eco people in my office that I didn't even know about. So step 1 was starting the garden, very excited for that, and then step 2, we're gonna start composting as well, because a lot of people eat things like apples and bananas and oranges and have leftovers, all sorts of other food waste that we're throwing away at the office, and we can prevent all that from going to the landfill by starting composting. Now, you don't have to start an office-wide compost. You could just simply ask your coworkers to give you their food waste. Like, if your coworker eats a banana for a snack with their lunch, you can ask them for their banana peel and you can compost it yourself at home. It is a little weird, but again, take what you want from this video. You don't have to do all of these things. This one was inspired by my mom's school. They have something similar to this, and I think other schools do as well. When the kids are done eating their school lunch, and say they didn't eat their applesauce that they were given, like you have to take one of each when you're going through the line at school lunch, and they don't want the applesauce. Anyway, when you're taking their tray to trash, they have like a little bin for food that is unopened and uneaten, and then someone else can go get that food if they want 2 applesauces or 2 packs of fruit snacks or whatever it is. You could have the same thing at work, where say someone has some unopened snacks on their desk and they realize, oh no, this is about to expire and I'm not going to eat it. You could have like a communal bin of about to go bad food, and people can pick from there things that they want. It's free food for everyone, and it prevents all that food from going to the landfill. This next one is super simple, and that is just to print double-sided instead of single-sided. Unless you have to print single-sided, I know there are cases you have to do that, but if you don't have to, print double-sided. That can cut your paper usage in half. It can save so much money, so many resources. And I guess similar to that too is you can print just black and white instead of color unless you need to print color because it just uses a lot less ink in general. The next one is to carpool. You could also take public transportation if you have access to that, but if you are in the United States, you probably don't. Unless you live in a town like, I think San Francisco has pretty good public transportation. The DC area is decent, New York City, but like Las Vegas, boo. Bad public transportation here. So another option that's probably a little more easy is to carpool. And I say probably a little bit more easy because it's also still kind of hard. So I do live near a lot of my coworkers, but it's been very hard to organize carpool. I've been here for a year now and I still haven't managed it because of things like appointments. People report to work at different times. People leave at different times. Some people have kids and they have to have car seats in their car. It's kind of a mess and it's really hard to carpool still, but if you can find a way to do it because say you and four of your coworkers all live near each other. Instead of each of you driving 5 days a week, each of you only has to drive 1 day a week now, so it's saving everyone money, especially with these gas prices these days. And it saves a lot of emission because it gets 4 cars off the road each day. If you're new to the channel, you have never seen one of these videos before, but if you're not new, you know that I don't do these in any sort of order. And the next one is to bring your own coffee and tea to work, just like bringing your own water to work. This, of course, goes if you have the time and the resources to make it yourself. It can be a lot less wasteful to make it yourself, not only like with the plastic cups and the paper with plastic lined cups. Those can't be recycled. The plastic ones can be recycled, but they do have to be clean. Anyway, it saves a lot of waste over time and it's so much cheaper to make at home. Say you don't have the time, the energy, the resources to make it at home, at least bring a reusable cup with you when you're stopping at Starbucks or whatever coffee shop on your way to work, because this can save a lot of waste in the long run as well. And then the last one, similar to that, is to use mugs and reusable cups and reusable cutlery and reusable dishes at work instead of disposable ones. I need to do this for my workplace here. I did it at my last one and it was like a big hit. I thrifted a bunch of dishes for like 25 cents each, so it really wasn't that much. You could even get people to chip in. I didn't mind buying them for my office place. And then you quit using disposables. You save a lot of money for the office and you save a lot of waste over the long run as well. I hope that you learned something from this video, and again, I would really appreciate a thumbs up and if you share this with others, especially if you know that they would get some benefit from this. Yeah, and a big thank you to my patrons. If you would like to join us over on Patreon, the link is always down below. We do things like giveaways, monthly video chats, and secret behind the scenes videos. I'm also trying to start something on Patreon about TikTok. I don't really know how it's going to go so far, but I know a lot of people who are like following me on YouTube and Instagram don't have TikTok. So I thought it might be a fun idea to have like a monthly TikTok compilation video available for you who don't have TikTok. The only issue with that is TikTok is free and Patreon is not free. So I don't know how popular that would be. But anyway, if you want to join us over there, I love the community that we're building. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, again, thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it all the way to the end. And until next time, remember that your small actions have a big impact in the long run. Bye, guys. That was weird. The camera like lagged and then I lagged. What else did I write down? Oh no, this is about I hope that you appreciated this video. Nope.